Hey folks, Dr. Groovy, Scott Grove from GroovyMusicLessons.com. Going to do a lesson today. We're going to be using a drop D on your low E string. For those who don't know what that is, yeah, you simply tune your low E down to a D. And what we're going to learn is how to solo over a progression that is from Alan Jackson's version of Mercury Blues. Gonna buy me a Mercury, cruising on down the road. That song. Been done many times. Steve Miller and a whole bunch of others as rock tunes. But just wanted to show you how to deal with, drop D stuff. It's real popular these days. It's been popular forever. Just took decades for the rock people to figure it out. Okay, and just some other good old licks. And there's going to be a minor chord in here, so there's going to be the D, then the G. Yep, I'll show you how to play the G chord with your D, low D string. It's because you got to figure that out. Then we're going to use a B minor, A, and back to D. Okay, so that's the way that's going to go. Guitar for today is my Groovy Scrotum Scratcher, made by the LBGTQ thing. So I've been working on this one. I got some custom pickups being wound right now for me. That'll be groovy when they get here. Some of you may have seen this one coming. This thing with the double binding, very cool. And again, right there, check out the cool neck plate. So so many good things coming from these folks. Again, these are from Icon plates. I've got another one from my Jazzmaster I'm putting together. So Icon Icon, then the little dash in the middle, plates.com. You can find them on eBay as well, but I've got a whole bunch of these for a whole bunch of guitars. So very cool. And okay, for the rest of it, just before we get to the lesson, check it out. Okay, so a little tribute to Waylon. So we got the good old tribute to Don here from Buck Owens thing going on, and a little bit of Waylon with the actual leather pick guard going on. And I tried to hide the middle pickup that I had put in with a lace sensor. The other ones are G&L pickups. And I put on here, we've got a in and out of, parallel series thing going on here, then a push-pull, so we can do the 7 pickup thing, so we can have just the bridge and the neck on, so it sounds like a regular telly, or we can have all 3 of them on. So Groovy X. And again, I'm getting some other pickups made for it because I'm not quite happy with this particular rig. I want something just a little more modern, kind of screaming. I told him I wanted, because he's making the pickups for me. I said, okay, let's do the on Eco 5 things and toss them up there, since he already makes pickups for some other guitar players that are in Brad Paisley's band. For them, I said, yeah, I'm looking for kind of that Brad Paisley tone just on the back bridge pickup, and so he's going to do that up for me. Not that I could play one single Brad Paisley solo. Some bitch is so good. But anyway, so let's get on to this lesson. And let it begin. Okay, so I'll give you this angle so you can see what I'm doing with my fingers, since I will not be using a pick. Of course, you can use a pick all you want. So I do the hybrid picking all the time, but I just simply don't use a pick. Okay, so I just play with my fingers on most of my lead stuff. I don't use a pick hardly ever, so that's the way I'm going to play them. It just has a really groovy sound, and you can play so many notes quicker, and do double stops, which means play 2 strings at a time with that going on. See? Okay, so that's very cool that you can just do that. So maybe practice up on that if you haven't done any kind of hybrid picking. If you're using a regular pick, then people generally will use their middle finger and ring finger to do that with. Some will go as far as to grow those 2 fingernails out, those 2, and have them fake nails put on and tons of clear coat so it will sound like their pick as well. But I just like doing it so it's kind of a how bass players do the slap thing, and it sounds so cool. So I just go ahead and use my skin of my fingers, just doing a major pull off. Okay, so just a big old yank, if you will. Okay, so here's the backing track. Again, it's going to be D for 4 bars, G for 2 bars, back to D for 2 bars, then we go to B minor for 1 bar, D for 1 bar, B minor for 1 bar, A for 1 bar, and then back to D to finish up 2 more bars. Then we start over. There are a ton of lead solos in this song. Again, Mercury Blues. Yeah, it's the car. Okay, and so check it out. Alan Jackson. There's of course other instruments playing solos, but a lot of guitar more than anything. But I love the jam over this chord progression, and that's my favorite part. And usually when I play with the band is I insist that we do this song just so I can go to town pretty much after every single verse, after every chorus, blah blah blah. So here's your backing track, well, just one time through. There we go. I will just simply play something one time over it so you can kind of get a feel for the kind of stuff that I will be teaching you. Okay, and this is just one little bit because I want you to learn a lot of stuff in here, so it'll be a lengthy lesson. Okay. First on the open D thing, which is the main reason I'm showing this one. You can just hear how the guitar sounds. Okay, one of the cool things, of course, is playing the low D. I like to use the top of my finger to get the pick sound, so right here on the top of my nail. Okay, but if I'm doing okay, that there's just 2nd fret bent down. It's only going down about half a step, so to like there. You see I'm using my thumb. And Okay, that is simply for those who have bolt-on necks. If you don't have a bolt-on neck, don't play it. You'll break your guitar. So people with expensive guitars that don't have bolt-ons, sorry, you can't do the country stuff that's cool. Okay, so I just simply put my thumb on the back of the headstock right about here. So just past the low E key, and I just put my thumb there, and then just grab a big hunk of wood. So my other 4 fingers, I just grab somewhere between the 2nd and 4th fret, place all my fingers on it like that, and then I push forward out that way, okay, at the same pressure as what I'm trying to hold on to. So I'm trying not to let anybody see what's going on. Okay, they just don't know how I'm getting that. So it's, which is very cool. As you can see, it doesn't look like I'm bending the guitar, which of course I am. So it's just like a claw thing, just got to get used to. You're not going to break your guitar. The neck is pretty much unbreakable. You can stand on your guitar neck, honestly, and it won't break, especially with the big metal truss right in there. A lot of people on YouTube, they'll show you, they just take the neck off and stand on the neck, literally. Okay. Okay, so that's really cool. So we're doing like D. Okay, so that kind of a lick, we'll put that in there. At the beginning of the solo, you can do that whole, I can't sing down to D. E is the bottom of my register. So you can actually okay, so you can actually do a whole bunch of that, and nobody will get tired of it just because it's something different that you haven't done all night. Or if you're playing by yourself or whatever, it's just a new thing for you to do. Don't do it on your acoustics, anything else. Again, just something with the icon plates on it. Once again, how cool is that? Okay, and how cool is a double bound silver sparkle telly? I know, it's gaudy, but I love it. So Don Rich guitar and Wayland leather there. The pickguard was 110 bucks. You'll find that on eBay. They also make one for a Strat, even bigger, which is $105. I'll get one of those too. The guy is really nice that makes these. Then he also makes the entire Wayland thing that zips up all the way around a telly for only $550. Everybody else will charge you $2,500. So if you're interested, 500 bucks, 550 bucks I think it is, for the entire cover, so you can put the ugliest telly you have inside there, zip it up, make it really groovy. So they're really nice. Check them out. The guy does some amazing leather work. He probably has 200 different designs that you can get, but I had to go this route. I think it's too cool. Okay, so again, okay, so that is strictly doing my thumb and first finger, as you can see on my A and D string. Okay, and add the chord in, which I'm doing, I'll put the chord in first on the D string. So it sounds just like Charlie Daniels doing Long Hair Country Boy. So if you know the tune, basically that same kind of stuff. Okay, so again, for that lick. Okay, or you can go. Taking your middle finger out of the whole mix of the D chord, sneaking it up here, and going to the A and the D string, 3rd fret. And those are pull-offs. Here's a hammer on, D string. And that real nice percussive sound, again, is from not using a pick. Okay, that's just what I did before, just a different phrasing. Okay, just threw in that, coming all the way down to the low D. Okay. If you're good and quick with that, you can actually pre-bend the neck and let it get up like that. So you're going to like C sharp and then letting it loose and getting that D. Okay, now here's a cool one going to the G. Just taking, now that G is no longer here at the 3rd fret, taking your middle finger, which I found just best, do whatever you want, sliding it up to the 5th fret on your low E string, because that's your G now. Okay, you can tell what we're going to do. So we're going to hit a open G string. I use any of my fingers that are available. Okay. That one's kind of cool, is playing low, because you're already playing like a baritone thing. I'll show you other stuff. But that is alternating between, on the low E string, 5, 3, 2, 5. Okay. Nice to let the G string just ring. Okay, so that's cool. You can do whatever else you want with that. I like to do also something that actually resolves differently, which is the D string up to the 5th fret, and do the same thing to it. Okay. Something like that would fit. So same thing, D. So that would actually have to be the phrasing of it in order to fit over the 2 bars you have. So. And you can actually add the D in open again. Any of the cool licks you want to put there? Okay. Okay. So that's one little lick, 2 little licks. 1 little, 2 little, 3 little licks. How many licks does it take to get to the center of a Tootsie Roll Tootsie Pop? There goes Scott. Needs his meds again. Okay, so that's 1 lick in the G. Okay, I'll get you a few more, of course. Okay, then we're going back down to D. So we've done D to G. Now we're going back to D. Okay, so we've already done the. Okay, so we've already done that low stuff. You can get there a million ways. You can always. Okay, so any kind of licks that you know that come down and end in that low one. Okay, what's kind of cool is when we go to the G, you can actually go to the 2nd fret of the low D string now, and it's very slinky because we have it tuned down, and bend it up 3 frets all the way up to the G. It's okay, so you can do your G string at the same time to see how it pulls in tune. that's very cool. Stuff that you just can't do elsewhere. That's why it's cool to always break out this tune. Okay, so we're back to D, and that's another one you can do in D, is what I just showed you, but you can't use the G string. So you have to like do a sorry. Okay. Let's see what you'd have to throw in here. You'd have to throw D, because you got an open D string. Because D is in a G chord. So if you are right there, and right here, open D. So you can. Okay, so that's another little D thing to get to, because we're back in D again. For those who don't know this already, I use it all the time, is okay, so that is simply going up, doing double stops, meaning two strings played at the same time. We're going to do G and B strings. Okay, first one using ring finger at 7 and 7, and we're going to pull it off to 5 and 5 with your first finger, and go into the 7th fret of the D string with my thumb. Okay. So whatever you want to do with that is very cool. Or what I was doing. Okay, so that's going up all the way to the 10th fret with those two. What you're trying to do is mainly bend the G string down, because if you leave your B string where it's at, it will sound like it's pulling into the actual. Okay, so that's kind of cool to remember. If you can bend the G string but not the B string, it'll sound very cool. And there's a D right here at the 12th fret on your D string, of course. That one being same thing. Stopping there. Trying to bend the G string down, but not the B string. Down. Okay. That's the lick. Sorry, I had to hunt for it. D on a G string, so 7, pull off, 7 on the D, back to 5 on the G. Now we're going to do 7 on the D. I'll say go ahead and hit it on the 3rd, but you're doing 7, slide to 5, then pick it, snap it there on the 3rd fret, and then 5th fret on the A. Okay. That's a cool way to end that too. So that's kind of very cool, I think. Then go into 5, 5, then 3 and 4 on the D. Might leave it there, might. Letting them ring is very cool. Another thing, if you just don't know, because I like to grab stuff that just pops in my head. D, and pull down the D string. Okay, so that's another one, and now one that all the rockers are using, but again, the country guys came first, is using one finger. Okay, so you have these three strings, your D, A, and D again. Okay, three fingers, two fingers and a thumb, how's that? Distortion too, very heavy, and some of these guys usually tune down to C sharp when they're doing this, because most rock things are down to E flat, the entire guitar, and so same as this, but when they detune that one, it's down to C sharp because they're already tuned in E flat. So don't get confused. Okay, so whatever fingers you want to use, don't matter. I like to go to 3, 2, and open. Sliding it is the best for me. Going up to the 5th fret. Okay, so that's cool to kind of just throw in, okay? Always at the end of a song, that's cool if the bass is finally dying out, so you can just finish the song with that. Okay, so just more ideas for you. Okay, now when we have to go to the B minor now, two things to remember. Number one, I like to do the Sultans of Swing lick, which is a D minor. Everybody remembers it. Okay, but just taking that minor, bringing it down here to the B minor. Okay, but what I did up here, just learn it there and then transpose it. Just a stair step. G, 7th fret, B string 6, E string 5. Then we just do kind of a okay. E string all the way up to 8. We're going to 6 on the B string, then 5, 6, 5 on the B, and finally landing on the D, which is 7th fret on the G string. Or going down to 5 on the G and bending it up. It's just something different, but I rely on this a lot when I'm playing a minor chord. So down here, the B minor, it's the same thing. Part of it is that chord. So you can play that to remember just a lick. Okay, so remember it's just a flat third. And you'll remember that because of that kind of thing. So even wherever you're doing it. Okay, so you always know you got it right if you're able to play that. And you can always end it that way. So while you're over B minor, again, that kind of stuff is cool. The other thing to remember is it is what is called the relative minor to the key we're in. Okay, the B minor is actually the 6th. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 in do, re, mi, fa, sol, la. Okay, it's 6. It is a relative minor, not as cool as the 3, which would be the F sharp minor. Because you could play the exact same stuff if it was the 3 minor, but you can get away with some of the stuff from the D if you want to while you're playing the B minor, because there's a D. Okay, this one here is a 2nd from here. 1. So if I was playing D, just remember to land instead of here. Just land up 2 frets. But that's exactly the same licks I play in A. So you can actually play in A and you can play in B minor and put them all together and string together more licks in a lot more positions. So again, you play in play in D and B minor. So anything you know in D. So there's B minor up here too. Okay, right there I just forgot that we're tuned down to D, so I had to bring it up. Should have just done that. Okay, and then when we go to the A, which is next, all your typical A licks, which I like to do anything. My favorite, one of my favorite licks in A, taught it many times, but great in this song. 1 out of 30 solos you get to play. Okay, you can see it here, playing with my thumb. Okay, thumb and first finger, it's the only 2 ones I'm using. So we're going 5, 2 on the E, 5 on the B, 2 on the E. Let them ring together, or not. Stop them like that. Called staccato if you just stop them real quick. Then we go from where you left off. I like that dissonance right there. So let's do 5, 2, pulling off on the B, and actually 5 on the G string. Yep, it'll sound way better in a second. Okay, so 5 and then 2 on the B. Okay. So 5, 4, 2. Okay, 2. 4 and 2 on the D string. Sorry, 2 on the G. Okay, so that's your A thing. So that's how cool it is, faster. Okay, if you want to, it's nice to play around with that dissonant thing, that Check it out. If I could play it. Okay, so that's one to do in the A. Let's do one more in G, just came to me. Okay, so we're going to use G and B together, just as double stop. So first finger and middle finger. So 12, 10. Now we're doing 9 and 8, 7 and 6. Now we're sliding all the way up to 4 and 3. Now we do chromatic on down, which means every fret. So 4 and 3, 3 and 2, 2 and 1, and open. See? You could throw in the C if you want to at the 5. Okay, so in context, okay, check that out. And however you want to phrase it, okay? Okay, so however you want to do it, okay? So pretty cool stuff. Okay, so that's a bunch of stuff to go in with this tune. I'll play right through it again with the stuff we did, and then I'll see if something else brilliant comes to my mind. That's a rare occurrence. Most of what I showed you, and the other one that I try to show all the time, check my tuner, because I have not done a nut job. I am a nut job. Have not done a nut job on this guitar yet. It's in limbo until it gets its new pickups. And there we go. I haven't even set the intonation yet. It's just kind of put together. Is the typical, this one, if you're in D, which we are, is we all know to play there. Okay, so that's actually, for those who don't know, 7 to 9 on your D string, up to 7 on your G. I'm doing 9 there on the D. Going up to 9 on the G string and bending it up a whole step. Or for those across the pond, a whole tone, which is 2 frets. Okay, you put your pinky down on 10 on the B string. Then it's while it's still bent up here on the 9th fret on G. Pull off on the G string. So just pulling off on D string, 9 to 7. And then just go to the 7 and play it. Do it while the D string is still ringing. Do a double stop. Okay. So you can see where these are coming together. I just laid my pinky out on the 10th fret when I had it on the B. And since you're already there in D, that one's cool. It's very rockabilly-ish. It's what most of the rockabilly players base their entire solos on. Is on the B string. From here, again, we're on 10 and 10. B string, and go with your middle finger on 12, and your ring finger up here on 13. They like to basically bend the G string up more than the high E. I'm sorry, the B string up. Okay, so that's kind of cool. Okay, real quick, another one I teach a lot, but what I played in there. So we're doing 10 and 10, pinky and ring finger. That's a pre-bend, I mean it's already bent on the B string. Release it, both strings still ringing. Go down 2 frets, same thing. Now we're going to move to the B and G string and do the same thing, but 7 and 5. So that makes for a D7, okay? Now here's what's really cool is you can go, while you're here at the 7th, is go 7 on the D string. Okay, you got so after you hit that D string, go back to that same formation at 5 and 7 and bend that B string up until it actually pulls in tune. Okay? So that's where you're at your G. Also cool, it's just strictly off of the exact same rockabilly thing. G and B open. And then just go into 2 on the G, 3 on the B. Okay, so that's where that's cool. So just some more fun stuff there. One more fun one in the D thing. The exact same lick I showed you earlier. Okay, in D. 7. That's early. 7, 9, 7, 9. I'm going to do 9 on the G, bend it up a whole tone. Now this isn't the one that's going to put you in the hospital. Your knuckles are going to bend all over the place, but don't give it up because it's a great lick. You can use it for entire solos, and you probably will. Okay, if you could pull it off, while that's bent up, put your pinky on 10 on the high E, hit the G again. Okay. I can't hardly do it anymore. I usually do it up here at G. And we'll go back to the 7th on the E. Hit the G string again. Put your pinky on 10 on the B. Release it. Same thing we've done before. 7. Pull off from 9 to 7. Back to 7. So at speed I can do it. Just trying to hold it there forever. Tough to do. Up here in G or A. It's a rough one still because I spend no time on guitar. I will make excuses because they're true. And this one is not set up. But anyway, very cool lick. I will use it a lot. If I'm using a pick, for some reason that one comes out easier. Here it goes with the track that you can use it for the whole thing. Basically how that goes. Very cool. Again, I'm beyond rusty. And so there's what I'm going to show you today. Again, just that open D is there for some really cool things. Again, bend your guitar neck, don't break it. You can't really, again. If you do, you can blame me. I won't do anything about it, but you can blame me. But just remember it's there. You will as soon as you play the G chord. You'll be like, what the hell? And it'll happen. Happens to me all the time. But again, remember it's up here. Okay, and using that, if you're using your fingers, it's easy to get that. That kind of thing. Or I'll get it. Maybe not. Okay, so lots of groovy licks, and hope you guys dig them. Hey folks, Dr. Groovy running out of steam big time. My coffee cup's empty, my body's empty. I gotta lay down for about 3 more months. So, hope you dug it. If you want to play along with it, I will just simply stand here, let the backing track play for like 3 minutes. I know some people like that, so that's all that's going to be on here. I'll just let it play and you guys can practice. Okay? So, here we go. 3, 2, 1. Okay, so that gets me out of here, and rest I will. And I'll try to get back in the playing mode if I'm actually going to teach, so I know what the hell I'm doing. Okay, you guys be groovy. Check me out on Facebook as well. All the old lessons and the new ones are all just on there. Groovy Music Lessons there on Facebook. So none of the other stuff, just lessons only. Okay, so check me out there. You can just come be my friend there at just Scott Grove, Nevada or something. You'll find me, but I should be the first one to pop up. I'm just that important. Okay, guys, be cool. Hope you dig the axe, and I'll do a full commercial sometime soon for the icon plates because they're just that cool, and I hope they make a whole bunch more designs because I want to get some country designs, but they've got a whole bunch of stuff, the Anarchy stuff, the Punisher stuff, and a lot of metal things, but I found enough metal, because they are metal, to do some of my guitars, so go grab you one, alright? Scotty out. Right, Captain? Later.